21.3 Ergogenic Aids. Ergogenic aids can also be known as performance enhancers. They come in a wide range and is essentially anything that will give you a mental or physical edge whilst exercising, competing, training, or in recovery. This can be anything from caffeine or sports drinks to an illegal substance. There is a variety of both safe and harmful ergogenic aids. They are used in sport to positively affect physical or mental functions. They may be used to remove psychological constrictions which impact performance and increase the speed of recovery from training and competition. Although many people say ergogenic aids are used to make an athlete win, it is more about being able to train harder, improving the rate of recovery, and therefore in turn allowing performance to improve, which is a positive of taking an ergogenic aid. Although some aids, which are harmless, bring about many positive effects, such as calming nerves, allowing to go over a routine over and over again, energy boosts, improving performance. One example could be Michael Phelps, who I'll talk about later, but basically before each race is immersed in music, blocking out the noise, thinking about the perfect race, and brings about positive effects of an ergogenic aid. However, some ergogenic aids bring negatives such as uneven muscle growth alongside physical effects on the body. It has many within the sporting world, such as banned or bad reputation, being stripped of previous medals, and essentially comes down to whether the athlete and the team surrounding them wants to take that risk. One example of this is Lance Armstrong, who was caught doping after competition and was stripped of all his medals. Ergogenic aids are easily accessible to anyone online, which brings many negative health risks itself. This is because buying online you cannot tell the product's standard. Due to them being easily accessible, many people feel pressured into taking them and seduced into doping by social media. When it comes to athletes, sports, and ergogenic aids, there are many key organisations that play a role in monitoring the legal and safe usage of them, ensuring athletes aren't harmed and are aware of banned products and content inside certain ergogenic aids. WADA is the World Anti-Doping Agency with the mission to lead a collaborative worldwide movement of doping-free sport. They help to provide an updated list of identified prohibited substances, products, and methods for athletes in and out of competition, as well as other information surrounding ergogenic aids within sport and athletes. WADA is a foundation that was introduced by the International Olympic Committee. It is based in Canada and its aim is to combat drugs within sport. The agency's key activities include scientific research, education, development of anti-doping capacities, and monitoring the World Anti-Doping Code. As well as this, they also decide punishments for those who have broken the rules and have used banned substances. WADA is constantly in battle with those who take the chance with illegal substances and take banned content, as well as those providing it. Although the way in which substances and methods can be monitored, challenged, and caught out through the new technique and advanced technology, the rate at which drugs are advancing and covering intervention techniques are developing is the same rate, making it more advanced and harder to detect through tests. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, which is a non-profitable organisation run solely by volunteers, help to influence and provide support and promote ethics and work along WADA within sport. UCAD, which is part of UK Sport, is a national organisation dedicated to promoting a culture of clean sport, raising awareness of the issue through extensive education and smart testing programmes, working with athletes to help them understand the rules and abide by the rules, as well as prosecute offenders. UCAD is responsible for ensuring sporting bodies in the UK are compliant with the World Anti-Doping Code through implementation and management of the UK's national anti-doping policy. From this, UCAD produced the 100% Me campaign strategy programme. It's all about being a true athlete and athletes being able to say that their performance is 100% themselves with no underlying secret. It's essentially giving praise and credit to those athletes who train super hard with a high level of talent and dedication and determination to win without the use of illegal substances or illegal ergogenic aids. It also puts on educational talks and workshops to young athletes and teams, raising awareness of being clean within sport. National governing bodies work closely with the UK sport to help provide educational strategies to develop and extend knowledge to those specific sports regarding banned products and doping, especially in their sport, but across the whole board as well. When looking at ergogenic aids, it can be broken down into 5 different subcategories: mechanical, pharmaceutical, physiological, psychological, and nutritional. Mechanical aids is any physical object that affects performance. This includes specially designed clothing, enhanced sporting equipment, or physical device in contact with the person's body. These are often associated with performance enhancements related to competitive sports rather than just day-to-day life sports or training. They are usually a safer and often used as an alternative to other ergogenic aids such as drugs. Next, pharmaceutical. This includes performance-enhancing drugs, both illegal and legal, as well as medicines and treatments. They have been used by sporting competitors for many years and can be very effective. However, pharmaceutical aids should be used with caution, and even the legal ones can, due to the fact even the legal ones can have an unpleasant side effect. Physiological aids are things that bring change to the body. This could be things such as natural substances like herbal teas and things like acupuncture, which aid performance, but also things such as EPO and blood doping, which are both substances and techniques which are used in sport, which are illegal. Psychological aids also bring change to the body, but looks more at techniques which support the athlete's mental state. And most of these are safer and very effective, although aren't recognised as much, as it's not normally something you buy, but strategies used to change the way in which you think. Many people already use these aids without knowing and are normally considered just personal rituals. And finally, nutritional aids, which consists of substances that are used with the purpose of enhancing sport performance. This also includes techniques such as manipulation and supplementation, or things like carbo loading. It looks at things that enhance strength and power, products that change body composition, as well as supplementation to aid recovery. Looking in more detail at pharmaceutical aids, there are both many legal and illegal versions. One example of a legal pharmaceutical aid would be caffeine. It stimulates the central nervous system and would typically be used by an endurance athlete, as there does not seem to be any proof of it benefiting short-duration, high-intensity exercise such as sprints. It helps to increase reaction time, reactions, and reduce fatigue. However, increased amount of caffeine leads to dependency due to the fact the body becoming tolerant to it, meaning that the amount consumed would have to be increased in order to get the same effects as before. There can also be withdrawal symptoms in some cases, which could be things such as headaches, restlessness, nausea, difficulty sleeping, and upset stomach, all affecting the athlete's performance in training and therefore in the long run affecting their performance. One athlete that has been known to use caffeine in their performance is elite triathlete Sarah Piano, who underwent experiments where results proved that caffeine reduced her time in all 3 events, as it provided her with the needed energy. Caffeine could be used in a heptathlon event due to the fact that a number of the events occur over the same day, and therefore providing an energy kick, similar to how Sarah used it in the triathlons, would ensure energy stores weren't depleted and could perform maximally in the events all day. On the flip side to caffeine, there is anabolic steroids, which are illegal within sport. Anabolic steroids are one group of hormonal drugs which are used by some athletes. They are taken to allow for an increase in training time and intensity and reduced recovery time required between training sessions. Although illegal, some athletes still choose to use the drug to enhance performance, as for them the benefits outweigh the risks. Steroids help with body growth, increasing muscle mass quicker. The physical strength and stamina of a person is increased to a large extent. This would both aid a heptathlete, as it would enable more power in events such as shot put, javelin, and long jump. In addition to this, it allows athletes' recovery rate to be smaller, meaning that they can train more often and also recover from injuries quicker if this was to occur during training nearer to a competition. Although it is masking injury and therefore could lead to long-term issues if they keep training on that injury, and eventually when they stop taking the steroids, the injury will flare up again. Finally, they can make the athlete feel more positive and confident, which can increase performance. Although these are some positive, there are many more negatives of taking anabolic steroids, including things such as mood swings, harm to your central nervous system, increased risk of cardiovascular diseases, as well as kidney or liver complications. Nose bleeding, muscle tears, tendon injuries, insomnia, aching joints are just some other symptoms and consequences of taking steroids in a large extent. One athlete that decided to use anabolic steroids was Ben Johnson, who was a Canadian sprinter. He was one of the top competitors in the 1984 and 1988 Olympic Games and gained 2 bronze medals, and in the 1988 won a gold. 3 days later was tested positive for anabolic steroids and was ripped of his gold medal and championship titles. The rest of his career he experienced many injuries, which is the case for a lot of steroid users who become more injury prone later in their careers.